Well, hello. It's Elizabeth B. SoCal, also known as Elizabeth. And it's been a while since I've gone live. And clearly this is impromptu. My hair is not perfectly coiffed. I have no makeup. My bra straps are showing. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to have a cup of tea. And I've been wanting to do lives while I drink my tea. Because first of all, I enjoy doing lives. And secondly, I enjoy my tea. And I just like hanging out and talking to people, even when there's no one here, like right now. So, I've got my C's candy mug. If you've never had C's candy, it is the best candy in the world. And I love their slogan, quality without compromise. And that is what I try to do with things in my life. Like, for instance, my travel business, I try to quality without compromise. I also do food delivery. And I do the same. I get comments all the time from people I deliver to about my customer service. And I often get tips that are upped after delivery, which is a nice surprise. And then I do another job too, but as home health care, and of course, I try to be quality with that as well. Why do I have 3 jobs? Well, I got laid off in 2024, April 16th of 2024. And I knew that I could not go back to a corporate hellhole life. I had done it for too many years. My last job, I had been there for 32 years, and then I had some corporate jobs prior to that. So, well, hello, Abiner Ephraim, or Abiner Ephraim, awake. Hello there. Thank you for joining. Oh, I see. I've been babbling. I didn't notice that the watch count has gone up. So I was saying that I had gotten laid off, and now I have 3 jobs. I am happier doing 3 jobs than I was at the one. I do miss the salary, though. I cannot lie about that. I was making a very good salary. And I am not even nowhere near that with the 3 jobs, but I'm building my travel business and it's going well. Thank you for the like, whoever liked it. So, yes, quality without compromise. I really enjoy that motto, and then I drink my tea most every day now from this cup. Hello, not Danielle True, or is it Danelle? My sister is named Danelle, but she spells it, well, my dad spelled it when he put it on a birth certificate as Danielle. Hello to Hat Ice Coxell 9217. Zoe 11, it's Zoe 1134. Today's your birthday. Do you want to hear the birthday song, or do you want to hear any song? Hi, 1920 Graveyard. Good afternoon to you too. Well, Zoe, I'll sing the traditional birthday song to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, it's Zoe 1134. Happy birthday to you. Yay! How old are you today? Thank you for subscribing. And thanks to everyone for wishing Zoe a happy birthday. That's so cool. Oh, you're 13? Oh, good age. I enjoyed being 13. It was fun. But I'm 60 now, and I still enjoy it, being 60. Lexus 67, do I have a daughter? No. Excuse me. I have no children, but I have been a foster parent. I haven't birthed any children, let me put it that way. And I'm very, very close to all my nieces and nephews. I have many that are chosen nieces and nephews and many that are blood related. Strawberry 78 G tag, tomorrow's your birthday. Well, happy birthday early. And Judith Law R or Judith L. Aware, hello. Let's see. Your mom's having a baby? When is the baby due? Well, thank you for saying I'm beautiful. I appreciate that. 1920 Graveyard, I really appreciate that you're going to subscribe. I think I am a nice lady. And I have a bunch of videos on this channel that you can check out and see if you agree after watching some of those videos. Oh, October. I'm a September baby, September 30th. I was supposed to be born October 21st. We have, in this household, we have me at September 30th, my nephew at October 1st, and his daughter is October 4th. So we have we always have a nice birthday celebration week for us. It's pretty fun. I'll share with you what kind of tea I'm having today. I'm having winter spiced tea, and I love this tin. If you do not know about Buy Nothing groups, I belong to my local one, and they're groups where people give away stuff they're not using anymore or didn't want to begin with. And this was, this tea was sealed when I received it. Oh, it smells so good, this winter spice tea. So, I have that, but I can't just drink it plain. So I add a shot of honey. This is a local hive wildflower. I like this one, but I usually get this other brand that I like better. But this one is a milder honey, but I do enjoy it. And then I have to top it off with my 0 sugar French vanilla creamer. This is the Kroger brand, and I like this brand a lot, although Lucerne has another one that's really good. Hi, Edgar Lopez. Thanks for loving my hair. I'm gonna, is it Hatisse or Hat Ice? Is it okay if I call you Ice? Hi, Bernie. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see you here. Hello. Hatisse, I live with, well, my nephew and his wife and their 3 kids live with me. And we really enjoy living together. And then I have an apartment over my garage that my brother rents from me. So, full house. I love this creamer too, Bernie. It's so good. My sister was buying this Italian sweet cream because that's all she'll put in her coffee. And I tried it and it was way too sweet for me. So I went and tried this French vanilla and I love it. I love it. So that is how I take my tea. I put my vanilla creamer in it. Not sponsored. Not sponsored. They say, you know, those in the know, that your local honeys are supposed to be better for you. I believe for allergy reasons. They help with, I guess because of the pollen in the area near you. Oh, well, it was very nice that you came by, Ice. I hope I will see you again. And congratulations on your mom having a baby. I don't remember what I was gonna say. Something else besides this tea is so delicious. So I have been building a travel business, and I do have a travel channel, but I haven't paid much attention to it, and I need to. That's on my list for this year, but I'm trying to get everything set up for my other business. So I have created and launched a concierge circle for clients, and I have started creating webinars. I'm going to be hosting a 3-part webinar, 30 minutes each, for Alaska, because Alaska season starts in May. So I'm going to be doing that, and I'll be plugging it here. It's free, it's educational, and I love talking about travel. I love educating people about travel, and I love sharing my knowledge and pictures. So if you follow me on Facebook, you'll see lots of my travel pictures, because I've used Facebook pretty much as like a journal for travels for a million years. Thank you, 1920 Graveyard. My customer base is growing, and I am actually at the point where I'm getting repeat customers, and they are also referring clients to me, which is so wonderful, which is what inspired me to create my concierge circle. It's like a travel club / rewards opportunities for people who refer people to my business, or to my webinars, or to I call them gatherings, my concierge circle gatherings. And I host those every 5 weeks and on Zoom. And they're fun. I do like quizzes, and we talk about upcoming trips, and sometimes we have special guests. So it's been really fun. And as I said at the top of this, even though I have to work 3 jobs to make this work, it is so worth it compared to the drudgery I felt for the last 15 years of my job, the last job I had. And I loved the people I worked with, but the company I worked for, let's put it this way, it is one of the largest companies in the world, and it was rough. The last 15 years was really rough. I know people are like, why didn't you quit? Well, I like to travel, and after 15 years, I had, I think, 4 weeks of vacation, or PTO. And when I left at 32 years, I had 7 weeks. So that's why I stayed, so I could take advantage of. I like to, every few years, take about a month off and do a road trip around the United States. The last one I did was in 2024. My nephew slash foster son, he started college in Chicago. So myself, my cousin, and one of my nephew's brothers, we took a month-long road trip. Well, he only took like 3 weeks. The rest of us took 4 because we had to drive back home. And we stopped and all over the U.S. It was wonderful. Thank you for saying, if you find a job you love, you'll never work a day in your life. That is a good quote. I mean, sometimes it feels like work, which I'll get to in a minute, but it's exciting still, even on the tough days. But on our road trip, we hit 14 different states, and we did different things. Some of it we just came upon when we were driving. Some of it I planned ahead of time. But what I didn't plan for is that one of my cousins, who I had not seen in person for like 20 years, he's a truck driver, and we keep missing each other. Like when he comes to California, well, one time there was a fire between where he was and I was, so neither one of us could get through the fire area. And then another time, we were prepared to meet, and I got stuck at like behind some big, huge accident that I just couldn't get. It would be too long to get to where he was. So anyway, he texts me and says, I'm going to California this week. You want to meet up? And I said, well, I'm actually on the road, and I'm going toward east. Well, wouldn't you know it, we ended up in Joplin, Missouri at the same time. And that was so incredible because we were always very close growing up. And it felt so good to see him. Such a good guy. And it just makes, that was just like an extra bonus. Like the trip itself was great. And my nephews, who are now 20 and 17, they want to do another road trip like that again, except not in my car filled with everything that my nephew was taking to college that I told him he could have shipped, but no, he did not. I looked like that we were on the run and packed really fast. That's what my car looked like. I don't think my car has recovered yet. Yes, Bernie, it's true that it's the last 10 to 15 years that stink. And I don't know if part of it's because we're getting older and know that we, get to retire or get laid off soon. But yeah, those last 15, whew. And those last 15 years, it was like a death by 1,000 cuts. It was always one thing, and then the next day, and then and the final blow for me was, I mean, I was gonna do it, but I didn't want to, is I was the only person that worked in my department in this area. And they made me go into an office 20 miles from my house and work by myself there. The same thing that I had been doing for 20 years at my own house, because I'd been working from home for like 20 years. They made me start going in the office. And there was nobody there from my department. And they had all these like banks of desks where they wanted everyone to work. No, I took one of the offices and I worked in there. Because there was no assigned offices either, so I just went in there and worked. And then I left. And first it was 1 day a week. I was like, okay, I can handle that. Then it was 2. Then they wanted it to be 5. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Well, 4 weeks later, I got laid off anyway. And I'm sure my complaining about having to drive into the office to work all by myself had something to do with me. I mean, they were already laying people off for, I knew 7 years prior that I was going to get laid off within the next 10 years. They had given us that kind of notice. So I wasn't surprised by the layoff. And I had been preparing by studying the travel industry because I knew once I got laid off, I was going to move into travel. So 1920 Graveyard, I worked in software. Software engineering, software delivery for a major financial institution. At one point, my group was very large at this company, and the last I heard, which was about 6 weeks ago, there's 4 to 6 people left out of like 58 that was originally in that group. So I loved what I did, and I loved my coworkers. I mean, some of them I've known, for half my life now. And, we all care about each other deeply and are still in touch. So that didn't change. We don't, of course, we're not talking every day because, they're all laid off too, except for a couple of so everyone's out trying to find jobs. And that's another thing why I didn't want to go back to the corporate world. I knew my company was laying off thousands of people. And I did not want to compete with thousands of people for tech jobs. And now, every other company is laying people off like crazy in tech. So I just moved into a different direction. And I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I did. Well, thank you. I appreciate. I wish it didn't happen when it did, but I was hoping to wait till I was 58, and I was hoping it would happen when I was 61. But, it's okay. I'm surviving. It's tough though, but it's okay. This is what I say. As I did the other night when I was delivering some food, and I had a carrier with a big old huge drink, and then another carrier with 2 milkshakes, and then a big bag of food, which I had in my hot bag. So I was able to put that over my arms. But I got there, and it was an upstairs apartment with steep stairs. And I'm like, I knew it was an apartment because I saw the address and I was familiar with it, but I was like, please let it be a lower one, please let it be a lower one. But no. So before I go, because I'm afraid of falling. I have fallen downstairs before, but I'm also 60 years old. I'm afraid of falling. And especially with my hands full, and I don't want to spill their things. So I stand at the end, bottom of the stairs. I'm like, thank you, Lord, for giving me the ability to do this. And it instantly calms me. And I literally do that. And if at another apartment later that night, again, with my hands full, and these stairs were super steep, and I was really afraid of walking up them. And the guy texts me, he says, did you find the place? Do I need to come out and find you? And I'm thinking, no, I'm standing at the bottom of the stairs trying to figure out how to walk up them with my hands full. Sometimes I do have to make 2 trips up, for safety and because of, I don't, want to wreck their, drop their food or whatever. But it was my last one of the night, and I just wanted to be done. So I didn't want to, and I didn't want to walk up those steep stairs because I knew I have one knee that is mostly good, but if I walk up too many stairs, it does not like me. And I had already walked up a lot of stairs, so I was just like, I do not want to do 2. I don't want to do it twice, so I didn't. I made it. And I took the picture, texted the guy, and he was like, oh, I guess you were walking up the stairs. He texts back, yes, I was. But I actually really like doing food delivery. I am fortunate to live in an area where there are so many restaurants and also a large amount of population. So even if I leave my area, most other areas nearby are also busy. So I don't have to drive as many miles as I used to drive Lyft. I used to do rideshare, and I loved it. I did that for five years. Yes, from 2015 to 2020, I did that part-time. And I loved it. I loved meeting. I met so many fascinating and interesting people. And I did like over 3,500 rides. And I can honestly say less than 10 were awful. And one time I actually left the person by the side of the road. But less than 10 out of over 3,500 rides was incredible. And I don't live far from Disneyland, so the majority of my rides either started or ended at Disneyland. And I used to love Sunday mornings because everyone would be flying home. And if they flew out of LAX, that was a really good price for a ride that you would get. And because LAX is busy, you're not going to be sitting very long to get another ride somewhere. But you could end up, I didn't mind it on Sundays because I would drive all day. And I would love to see where I ended up. I would end up in some cool neighborhoods and seeing some cool things. And I just loved that. And then if they left Disneyland for one of the local area the one John Wayne Airport in Santa Ana, that it's like on Sunday mornings, it literally takes like 12 minutes from picking them up in the Disneyland area to the airport. And I loved it. I could do, just real quick rides. And one of my favorite ones is I got a ride request, and it was to go to pick up someone to go to LAX. I'm like, okay. I wasn't picking someone up. The person who ordered the ride, her husband had left his wallet at their hotel, and they were already at the airport. And she said, I don't care if you take all the money out of his wallet, just get his wallet here because he can't get on the plane. He has no ID. And I said, well, I would never take the money out of the wallet, but I will go pick it up. And, so I did, and I got to the airport, and she told him, you emptied that wallet into her hand. And I was like, no, because he ended up having a lot of money in there. But they did give me $60, and I did take that. But I wasn't going to take his whole wad of cash. But other drivers would have, but I didn't feel. I actually enjoyed having the adventure, And I got some more cool rides from the airport. So, that was really fun. But once COVID hit, I didn't want to take people in my car anymore. because you had to like put plastic up and wear your mask while you're driving, and I just didn't want to go through that. So I started doing food delivery, and I love it. I really do. And I drive so much less than I did when I was doing Uber Eats. So, I mean, not Uber Eats, Lyft. So I'm actually making more money because I'm driving less miles, less wear and tear on the car, and people tip more for food delivery than they did for driving. Although I was fortunate that at about 40% of my rides did tip, and they usually tipped very well. And what's weird is how many times I would get the same people. One time in one day, I got these people 3 times. Once I dropped them off at the grocery store, then I picked them up from the grocery store like an hour and a half later, and then 3 hours later they were going to Disneyland, and I picked them up for that. So it was like, how, just happened to be in the right area. That was the most in one day, where I've got some. I have gotten people twice, but the 3 times was crazy. And then a lot of repeat people who have Disneyland passes. I would get a lot of those people, and they say, as many of them said, "Oh, I was so happy when I saw your picture pop up," because I was like, "Oh, she already knows where I live. She's cool, whatever." So that was nice. I've been yapping so much and not drinking my tea, but it's still warm and it's still tasty. So I see 3 of you are still watching. Are any of you tea or coffee drinkers? I only drink tea. I do not like coffee, but I love the smell of coffee. And when I was a teenager, I worked at a donut shop, and I would tell people before, when I was scheduled, I was like, don't clean the coffee things. I'll do those when I get there, because I used to love the smell of it, and it was wonderful. But I hate the taste of it so much. I cannot bear it. I cannot bear it. Oh, you've only had sweet tea? What kind of coffee do you like? 1920 Graveyard. I can't believe I've already been on here for 33 minutes. I guess I have missed y'all. Yes, Bernie, I know that you're like me. I mean, I don't like both tea, but I know you don't have to have a particular brand of your tea or your coffee. I'm the same way. Dark roast smells the best. Oh, it smells so good. I think one of the reasons I love the scent of coffee is that for many years, well, when I was a teenager, my dad was a truck driver, and he worked, he would go to work, he had to be at work at midnight. So at 11, I typically went to bed between 11 and 12, but the coffee maker would automatically go off, and I would smell that. It just, that scent, and it was comforting, I guess. And then, he would always shower, and he had his Old Spice. That was his favorite. His Old Spice, so the scent of Old Spice and coffee just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy and cozy. And he had to pass by my room to leave, so I always got like that scent coming from under the door or whatever. And that just reminds me of him. And now that he's gone, I really treasure those special memories. And when I smell coffee, I always think of him now. So today, this last 2 weeks have been crazy. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. He's been gone since 2017, but it feels like yesterday. It really does. I didn't think you meant that emoji. I do that all the time, so I didn't even think that. I have a group of people who are traveling in the Mediterranean right now. They on a cruise, and some of the group did a pre and post cruise. So they're still on the cruise, so they haven't gotten to the post yet. Well, prior to this, 2 of the people extended their post cruise, but they didn't tell me they were extending it until like 3 days before they were leaving, which was well after the time that the company I was working with for those plans, they require like 14 days before, and then no changes. Well, they scrambled and they got the changes made for me. And then on the cruise, one of the people who had extended got sick, and she left the cruise and she came back home to the United States. So then the other person didn't want to extend anymore. So then I had to go back to the people I'm working with and scramble to get them to adjust everything again. And the company that I'm working with, I really enjoy them, and they only work with travel advisors to set up in destination. So this company is called Europe Express, not sponsored, but they work. They're a B2B, business to business, so they work with travel advisors, and they set up hotels, excursions, dinners, private transfers, all of that stuff. And I tell you, I'm so glad I used them. No, so glad that I worked with them. I hate to use that word, use. That I worked with them because they have been such a great travel partner. And I would have had to been on the phone calling each of the suppliers and then not only that, but making sure that if they're changing, then the next supplier has to change theirs. I didn't have to do any of that. I just had to call the 24-hour for when people are traveling and tell them what happened, and they took care of it. Now, there's time change and, time differences and stuff, so I was getting a little worried yesterday because I didn't hear back about one of the parts, but it's all taken care of. So now when they get off the cruise on Saturday, they're gonna be good. And I'm really glad. But so even though that was, first of all, you're worried about your client because their health. Then you're worried about how are they gonna get home. Then you're worried about the other people who are remaining in the group. And how is it going to affect them? And so, there's all these things you're dealing with. And then people are panicking. Well, we have to change this again. And it's like, yep, but I'm really good when those kind of situations arise. I'm very good at being calm. And I might lose it later when it's all done, but when things are going and happening, I'm usually really good. Only one time I freaked out badly. And that was when I found out later that was because of a glucose issue that I was experiencing. I was experiencing a extreme low, which didn't help when I had to deal with the situation I was dealing with. But as a rule, if you got an emergency, you want me. And I just have always been equipped that way. I think it's because I'm the oldest in my sibling bunch, and B, I grew up in the 70s where you had a lot more freedom to grow and be a kid and be in charge of yourself. So, well, I was always in charge of my siblings. So my parents did make me take them everywhere, which even at my 20th high school reunion, everyone was like, where's Danelle, April, and George? And I'm like, we actually do things without each other now. But my dad always said, I didn't have a family for us not to be together and hang out. So, but actually my parents were smart because they made our house the house where everyone wanted to come to. We had a pool, we had a pool table, we had this big, huge den. And my parents were always playing music, and they always, in the summer, they were grilling every night, and anyone was allowed to come over, and they were smart. They knew what we were doing as teenagers. How I got there, I don't know. I know I was talking about travel. Well, I'm glad I still have 2 people hanging on in here at 41 minutes. I was waiting for my little Charlie, my little grandnephew, to come home because he's been wanting to do a live. We're going to try to do, and I think on Saturday, a live pizza party. He wants to show off some Lego robots he's made. And he wanted to do it last night, but I was busy working on this travel issue. And he comes in my room. He's like, BB, can we please make a video for our channel? He thinks it's our channel. And he says, because our subscribers are probably lonely. Oh, well, thank you so much for joining 1920 Graveyard. And you enjoy playing that PlayStation before you go to work. And thanks for giving your good wishes to everyone else in the chat. I hope to see you here in my next live. So yeah, my little Charlie, he thinks that you're all waiting for our videos, especially videos with him in it. He told me that, you know, people only watch your channel because my face, because I'm in it. And I'm like, because you're cute? He goes, no, because I am fun. So what he meant is that you will click on when you see his face in the thumbnail. But he is cute anyway. So I do adore my little man. But they must have gone grocery shopping or something today. Usually on Thursdays, my sister has Charlie, she picks him up, she takes him to school and picks him up that day, but my sister is currently in the hospital. She had to be taken by ambulance on Saturday. She had some tests done and she had some diagnoses that not super severe, but she already has some chronic health issues. Hello.
Hi. Can you have April's car?
Yes, I can. I forgot to do that. I meant to do that before you came home, but I didn't. All right, I'll be out there in a minute.
Hey, thank you.
All right, bye. Well, I have to draw to a close now because my sister's car is parked in the parking space that's next to my garage because today was street sweeping day. But Ashley, my nephew's wife, who lives here, that's where she parks. So now I have to go move my sister's car. I appreciate everyone who's joined me today, and I'm gonna start doing more lives. I enjoy this. It's really fun. So thank you, and remember to always live greatly and always live generously. Bye for now. Now, how do I end this? I forget. Nope. How do I end it? This is funny. Why don't I remember how to end it? That's how long it's been.